Hello my fellow mayors and welcome once again to Perafilozof City Skylines videos. In this episode I'll be continuing to build up the city of Belgrade in my let's play called Building a Better Belgrade. This is a let's play where I use different mods and assets to allow me to increase the amount of interesting things that I can build in the city. I'm also building the unique buildings and the monuments later on in the city as I have not used them in my previous cities. In the previous episode, I had started building up this area here after planting this kind of a one-of-a-kind design of the highway. This is my personal design. I did not download this from the workshop. The point of this highway is to reduce the amount of highway ramps that go from the right side over to the left, because the highway itself goes from the right to the left, from the left to the right, and so forth and so on, allowing therefore to be just highway ramps over here and next to the highway itself, and not go above and below and stuff like that. So over here I had built up this pretty much a separate area. It's just going to be connected for the switch to be able to be taken out through here and over here where I have the switch outflow pipes. It has its own water supply, it has its own power supply from the modular solar panels. Now the point here is that I made the circle, but then I noticed that I do have a lot more space to use. So what I came up with was to actually take these streets, go about 20 cells at 90 degrees, then turn for another 20 cells. The numbers that you see about cells and degrees are from a mod called Road Projector. I continuously forget what its name is. I will put a subtitle here saying exactly what the mod is called. So in any event, now I'm going 30 cells, but I'm going 30 cells up here as well. Then I am going to do the same thing I just did, but just on the other side. So 20 cells up, 20 cells to the right, 30 cells to the right, and 30 cells down. And then I'm going to connect these two areas to each other. And you can see that I get perfect zones here. I'm also going to draw this road down here and get perfect zones here as well. That goes up to about here, and then it has a connection here. But then I'm going to delete these two connections and get the road to connect into over here by going like this. The only problem is this isn't going to allow for the perfect zones that I was trying to aim for. So I'm going to try to go like this. So 5 cells this way, 5 cells this way. And this should do the trick. And now just finish up the connection here. While on this side I will do something different. I'm going to take the free draw tool and then go from here to about here and try to get the perfect spacing in between these. Might take a few tries. There we go. And there we go. It's as good as it should be. Why am I getting... What about the health? Yeah, game. Really, what about the health? Oh, right, and one of my subscribers said, why should I call it Oak version 2 when I could use the name? Actually, I don't know how you spell this, so I wrote it down. Birch. It's a type of tree, and I did take up naming the districts where I have the forestry industry by the different names of trees. So, thanks to my subscribers again. So this area here is done. Now what I was looking at, how do I do this area over here? And before there was a patch with the tunnels, I said that I would have to leave the railway here. But actually I don't have to leave the railway here, I can draw it with a tunnel. But just before I go there, I just need to check one thing. Yeah, the garbage is fine and there is enough power in these areas. So no, I don't have to change anything. Why do I have a abandoned building? Probably Worker education too low. Yeah, education will take some time to be fully deployed with the university. Yeah, very few highly educated sims. That's the problem with the low density commercial. Going to level 3, they require a lot of highly educated workers. And I do get them up to level up easily because I have easily leveled up the homes as well, and then the homes give off enough land value and enough of the wealthy sims to go to shops, then that get leveled up to level 3 because they have wealthier customers, have land value, and then they require the highly educated workers. So where was I? I was trying to finish up this area here with an actual railway connection, but I cannot unlock the train tracks until I actually place a cargo train terminal, so I will need that one first. I'm going to place it. I believe I need around 7 of these squares in order to have enough room to place the cargo train station. So that should be about this. And if I place it now here, it should fit exactly onto the already existing part of the railway. If the neighbor's dog end up in the Let's Play in the audio, I really apologize, but there's no way to fix that problem. Anyway, let's get back to building this. So just a connection, and see it's perfectly connected. And now, in order to avoid having the railway go through these areas and then have to go with the roads above or below, I can actually take the railway itself below through a tunnel going like this. Just need to make sure it's straight. Yep, it is. And then when I reach the other side, I just stop with the tunnel being down here at 3 levels down, and I bring it back up in order to be able to connect it with this part. So now I have clear terrain here to work with, while the tunnel for the trains starts here and ends over there. But before I go into that area, I wish to see where exactly do I have the actual resources to play with. So here I have agriculture, here I have I need to turn off this curved train station for now. Here I have the oil as well as over here. So if I were to buy one of these tiles, let's see which one would that be. So I think I can see lots of oil here and some here. I think it would be better to play with the oil where I have the cargo train station, so I would buy this area here. And this would allow me to create a big oil field and some processing industry on the edge of it, while having the agriculture industry here. And if I'm going to do that, then I need to first see where would I have sims living. If these sims here would live and work here in generic industry, then over here I would have the ones in the processing industry and living here. For these two industries to have a connection, I would probably build some tunnels underneath the highway so that they can transfer goods to and from the left and the right side. Now, to start this area up, I need to first connect some of these highway ramps into the actual places where I wanted to zone. So if here we have an on-ramp, I could try and connect it like this, but no, the highway ramp is at too far of a steep angle. It can connect like this, but going from here, I think I can connect into here like this as an on-ramp, while over here as an off-ramp, and here as another off-ramp, and here we have an on-ramp, and I can try to connect to it like this, and here again an off-ramp, and then over here is an on-ramp, so I'll go from here and connect to here. So the only one that doesn't want to connect is this one here. I did seem to place one at a too steep of an angle in the asset manager, so I can't really connect there, but I can connect pretty much everywhere else. This one should actually be turned around because this one on-ramp. And as for this on-ramp, I will just make the connection somewhere else, and then they can drive in order to get there. So that's enough of the connections. This is the zones, this is the parks, this is their utilities. All they need now is some services. I'm using only the small ones for the starters. They will need a school as well. Let's see if I place it here. If I place it here, still one area isn't going to have good coverage. In that case, I either need to add more streets for connections or add one here and one here, which is probably what I will end up doing. In any event, I need to start zoning. Now, next to the roads themselves, I am thinking to place some of the industry. If the industry is here, then the commercial sector will be here, and the residential would be here, which is, yeah, exactly how it can be. So I'm not going to zone in the middle one, but on the ones next to it, the next ones. So over here, it's easier to go through and paint with this circular zone painter when you are doing zones like this. So that would be the residential. The commercial would be on this one here, and no doubt over here a little bit, or maybe not. I think I will leave it and see, leave this one empty and see what do I end up requiring, while the industry can be on this one here. There we go. I will just not place the industry very close to the intersections itself to avoid any problems. Okay, and some more here. I should start using the smaller tool now. So this area is going to be generic industry. Need a new district for it, made like this. So what was it that I called the industry in these parts? Let's see, smelly and dirty, and the other one was dark and damp. I'm going to leave it up to you guys to think of a name similar to that name for these guys over here. While the commercial and the residential areas can fit into the same district. What I will be using though are the policies for big business benefactor, the high-tech housing, the pet ban, and the parks and recreation. Now I do need to add some of those schools because this is a high-density area. I'm going to use the larger elementary school. It is going to cost a little bit more, but it has a higher student capacity. I'm going to place it here, and if I need any more, I will place them later on. So here we got the residential area coming up. They're probably going to need a high school influence as well. So I'll place the high school over here. I did not place enough water pipes here, so I will fix that right now. And that's done. Oops. Okay, so the commercial sector went up, the industry is going up, and the residential area has gone up as well. So this area over here, let's try and find something interesting to call it. I'm going to call this area High Garden. For the fact that I'm going to have a lot of parks here. At the moment I have these two here, which are providing excellent coverage for the residential areas, but the coverage for the commercial area isn't there yet. In order to fix that, I need to add some more parks. There is this empty spot here, which is perfect to add more parks. Now, in order to get those parks, I'm going to start a small street here, and this will allow me to place the park on either side. One will go here and the other one will go here. Now I can actually bulldoze the street because the parks don't actually need streets for the teams to get into the parks. All they need is these pathways, which are pretty much what is on the roads, just not the part of the roads where you drive on. And I think I can even get this path all the way here without bulldozing the building. Yeah, excellent. And now the pathways will continue next to the parks themselves. And by placing them like this, I will be able to have Sims use these parks without there actually be a road access to those parks. Alright, that should provide excellent coverage, as it does, you can see here, and I think I can do the same over here. There we go, that pretty much finishes this part. Nothing else needs to be done here, except I can add probably a little bit more zoning here. So high density commercial would go here and over here as well. I think on the bottom I have some more room. Yep. The residential areas are getting filled up rather nicely. The zoning might not be perfect, but I'm fine with it as it is. Add a few more zones in here as well. They should have all the services if I haven't missed any. And I should find a nice unique building to place here as well. Something not too big, hopefully, that I can fit into these areas. This would actually fit quite nicely, especially because it looks like it is a curved building, but it's going in the opposite side that I need it to. And there isn't enough space here in between these, so I'm gonna give up on that one and try and place something else. This isn't gonna fit. Neither is this. This could actually fit. Yep, so we have the tax office here, but that's kinda sounds ugly and it looks more like a city hall to me. I'm going to call it a city hall. Does it look like a city hall to you? Looks way better as a city hall than a tax office. Okay, so the generic industry will require some workers. I should have some unemployment, but I do have more jobs available than I have Sims employed, and for that to be fixed I would just need to zone a little bit more here. That should take care of that. Now let's see what kinds of transportation can I have here. I think I could have a nice metro stop somewhere about here, and perhaps another one here as well. Let's say it goes in here, and then another one up there. Can have both of them connected quite easily, and then I'll draw them down there to connect them as well, but for now I will just connect them with this part of the city. Just need to find a spot for the actual connection. I think it can go right here next to the skull. Okay, and let's get this connected. There we go. And now I need a line starting here, going here, and then going back. So that's the first metro line, and it will be expanded as the city expands. How am I with the imports and exports? I'm importing around 400, exporting 1,200 with 52 tourists. The garbage is at 202,000 units per week, while I have the capacity for 227,000. But that is with the budget at 84%, so at any point I can increase the budget and have more of the capacity, but the trick is that this area of the city does not actually have a direct line to the recycling center and to the trucks carrying off the trash, which is something that I will fix right now. I'm just looking at which exactly is the way that I wish this to be connected. I'm thinking I could use a tunnel so that I don't have any connections here. And the tunnel would be going out and coming up where? I think I could do it here. If it were to start like this and then go down. Then it would go through here. It would not mess up the metro because it's going a little bit deeper. And then it would come out. I'm not sure what causes this shaking here. It's probably some mod that hasn't been updated to the newest version of the game. That would be my guess at least. So no, not there. It should keep going like this. And then over here somewhere it should end up going up. Not yet. Is this at level 1? Yep. So how about up to here and then there we go. So now I have a two-way street that connects this area and this area for the garbage trucks to be able to come here and take the garbage out. The tunnels are a really welcome addition to this game. Now over here I see that there is only one way for the traffic to come in and out of this circle, which might not be the best of ideas, so I should add some more connections. I could do one-ways, so the guys from here can get over here from here, while they can get out from here to over here. Actually, this would kind of stop the traffic. It would create a little bit of a problem. But I don't think it's going to be that heavy of traffic to create that big of a problem. And could probably give them a connection to go inside as well, so through here. And so if this one was coming in, they could have a connection going out right about here. I am creating four-way intersections, which are not exactly the ones I like, but if I see problems, I can always start changing this. So I am not really going to pay too much attention to the amount of population, to the taxes, to how much I'm earning in this city, because I'm just trying to have fun and create something interesting. Actually, the industry here, it either does not have power or isn't connected. No, it does not have enough power, so I need to turn on another module salt power plant, and that should take care of the power issues. There we go. That's been taken care of. So unemployment 4%, empty jobs around 1,000. Let's check on the households here. 7, 5 out of 6, 5, 10 out of 11, 4, 10. So what do they need? They need to be more educated. So the large amount of school, 308 out of 500. High school, 660 out of 1,000. Do they need highly educated here? Yes, they do. So I need an advanced, I need an improved university, student capacity 2,000, cost 35,000, upkeep of 800. Good question is, where do I find enough space to place it? Not here, that's obvious. And nowhere in here. Well, then I will place it onto about this side. I'll just see, how do I do this? Let me see, going through here, and then creating another street that will go through here. Like this should provide enough space for a university. Although I think I have to move it a little bit more. Okay, that was too much. For some reason it keeps jumping to and from. Oh, come on, stop that. There we go. And now to go to about here. And then connect where? Connect here, I think. Yep, and that should provide enough space for an advanced university. Yep, plenty of space. It will have power, it will have water, excellent. What do we have here? Some buildings going on fire, because the firehouse from here isn't covering this area, which is fine. I can have a firehouse, especially for this part here. Let's just see, where do I place it? There aren't any connections here, but I think it can be placed in here and it will still provide good coverage. Yep, that should do the trick. So these guys are abandoned, probably not enough workers. That will be fixed as more people keep moving in. So the internal area here will need to be zoned for more residential. The entirety of the circle will be high density residential. Alright, that's pretty much done. I do seem to have a lot of traffic here now. Not much on this side though. Probably depends on which side of the highway do they come from. Okay, so this is developing rather nicely. Now, what do I do with this area over here? Well, I will probably have to think on that. I do have a lot of abandoned here, but as you can see, this is commercial at level 3, and they are abandoned due to not having enough highly educated workers. As they keep saying here, not enough educated workers. The education should start kicking in soon. I'm already at 14% highly educated. The last time I checked it was around 7 or 8. So this is definitely getting better and better. How's my park coverage? I didn't check. Yeah, it's excellent. More teams are moving in every day. The population is going up. The taxes are not high at all, although I could go to 10% on the high density and the offices. Okay, over here we don't seem to have that many problems as before for the workers. There isn't a worker shortage anymore. How am I with the goods? I'm still exporting goods. I'm importing a lot of ore and oil, and if I have oil industry over here, that should solve that problem. As for the ore, that's over here, so that will take some time to get to. Well, I think I developed enough for this episode. Thank you all for watching, and please stay tuned for more.